intelligent human beings, it is important to be able to describe what we mean, what do words mean. So, for me, analog is this horizontal line. Sorry, digital is this horizontal line, which is based on numbers. And the numbers, the digital sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all about what comes next. And that is the digital technology. It's all about what comes next. And it's those famous questions we asked yesterday. It's the who, what, when, where. My second son, his name is Julian. He is 5 years younger than Damien. Julian, on a Saturday, don't ever tell him I said this. He will kill me if he knows. Julian, on a Saturday afternoon, will spend 3 hours on his Facebook page to answer those 4 questions. So, who's coming with us? It's Saturday night. Who's coming with us? What are we going to do? When do we meet? And where are we going? And it takes, you laugh because you spend 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon on your Facebook page too. Yes, it takes that long to answer those 4 questions. Digital is all about what comes next. Do any of you, or have any of you water skied? Water ski, jet ski. You know what water skiing is, huh? It's a lot of fun. You've seen people water ski. It's very exciting to water ski. You're going along very, very fast behind something else. You're skimming the surface. You're moving very, very quickly, but you can't see where you're going because there's all this stuff coming in your face. Actually, you can't see anything at all. But you are moving very fast and you're going forward along the surface. That's digital technology. That's digital media. That's digital information. We don't know where we're going. We can't see anything. We're skimming the surface. But it's very, very exciting because we're going fast. And we don't have to see anything because all we have to say is who, what, when, and where. Analog. Analog is this line here. The analog age, the age I was born into, was the age where if something didn't work, you took the screwdriver and you took off the back and you fixed it. What happens in the digital age if something doesn't work? You throw it away and you buy another one that is more expensive and that does more things that you don't really need. But it's good. A student of mine, this is the truth. A student of today is Thursday. We left, when did we leave Rome? Anyway, for this week, a student of mine in Rome came to me after my class with their new smartphone. I will not do publicity for Apple. Came to me with his brand new cell phone and said, "Professor, look at this." And I said, it's a phone. How much did you pay for it? Oh, he said, I've saved up so much money. I spent a lot of money, but I'm so happy. I said, I'm happy? You are happy? But why are you happy? And he said, because now, I promise this is the truth. Huh? I'm a Catholic, I cannot lie to you. I'm happy because now I don't have to think anymore. Because this phone will do everything for me. It will tell me everything I need to know. From the weather to the traffic, it will remember everything for me. I don't have to remember anything anymore. I get very scared. I get very afraid when I hear things like that. The analog age took us down. It was like deep sea diving, going underneath the surface. It takes time. It takes courage because it's dark down there. But the things that you discover are wonderful, miraculous, exciting. Courage, curiosity to go down. Think of this analogy, analog and digital. Mine is the last generation. We talked earlier about crossing lines. Mine is the last generation to cross this line. Half of me is analog, half of me is digital, which is why I was so happy when in Washington, D.C. last month, I found this cover for my phone. What does it look like? It's just like me. It's an old book, an old leather book on the outside, but inside, it is full of information. This is how I feel. If you think of this crossover, you can apply it not only to journalism and not only to technology, but to human relationships. Once upon a time, like in the fairy tales, if a relationship didn't work, you didn't take the screwdriver, but you tried to understand why it wasn't working. You tried to fix it. What happens today when a relationship doesn't work? You throw him away and you get another one who's more expensive, right? This here, what form does it make? Where do the two meet? They meet in a cross. And I believe that is the role of religious media. Religious media is the cross media. We speak about cross media. It's the one point that is able to bring the two together. The two seemingly impossible lines, because in physics, you can't, these two lines are never destined to meet. A vertical line cannot meet a horizontal line unless they meet at the point of intersection. And that point of intersection is a cross. And the difference between digital and analog is that digital gives me knowledge, while analog gives me, oh, thank you, understanding. Because it answers the question, why? Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. You want more? You want more? Okay, I could give you more. It's a new idea. It's a new idea. You will not find this on Wikipedia. You can Google, you won't find this. It's not in the book because I have not written the book yet. I will never write the book. I know. Because you are my book. You are my book. Each one of you is my book. I'm writing in you now because I know, I hope, I pray that after this class you will leave this auditorium and you will continue to think about what we are saying. And just in case you think I'm crazy, I know, you see they laugh, I know you think I'm crazy, because I stand on tables and take off my clothes. This method of teaching you is because I want you, I need you to continue to think when you go outside this room. It's not enough just to listen inside. You need to take it outside into you. I want you to talk to your friends and say, do you know what this crazy man from Rome said? He said analog is this way is like skiing, and digital is like skiing. Analog is like deep sea diving. I'm sorry, what did I say? I'm so sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It was a mistake. Now you will never know how the story ends. You will never know if the prince marries the princess and they live happily ever after or not. Never mind. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. Good. News and media and information is interested in knowledge. The world is obsessed with knowledge. I won't embarrass you by asking what the first thing is you do in the morning. Now, I don't mean that. The other thing that you do in the morning. Do you do like I do? Switch on my cell phone. I do. I can't help myself. The first thing, switch on my cell phone, check for the messages, look at BBC, see what has been happening during the... What have I missed? What was happening while I was asleep? What were my friends doing? What did I miss during the night? We're obsessed with the search and the thirst for knowledge. Less so with understanding, because understanding takes time and it takes courage and curiosity. And yet, none of us can be successful at what we do. None of us can be effective. I prefer the word effective more than successful, because successful can mean rich and powerful. Hands up those who want to be rich and powerful. Of course, I knew. Nobody wants to be rich and powerful. But we do want to be effective. We want to do what we do to the best of our ability. And the only way we can do the best of our ability is to believe completely in what we're doing. It's that simple. In order to understand, though, in order to be effective, the most important thing is to know who we are. And that's a question, it's the slogan of your university. Do you know what the motto is of your university? The Catholic University of Ukraine? What is the motto of your university?
Just the...
All shout together. What is the motto of your university? Huh? Do you know it in Latin or Ukrainian? It's under your shield, it's in Latin. To know yourself. Know yourself. That is your motto. That is your motto. Know yourself. And it seems to me that you cannot know the world around you, and you cannot know other people. You cannot know anything at all if you do not know about yourself. And we know so little about ourselves. Do you have a piece of paper? You have some paper or an iPad or a laptop or an iPhone or anything to write on, or the back of your hand is fine. You can use, when we used to use the back of our hand. Something to write on as quickly as you can. Are you ready? When I say go. Okay, wait, people. As quickly as you can, write down your favorite color. Go. Done, thank you. Finished, stop, too late. Okay, don't copy. Done, yes, your favorite color. And under your favorite color, write down, or draw, please, choose, as quickly as you can, one of these three shapes. Quickly. Can we go to the PowerPoint, please? Done? Good. All right. Let's see if the PowerPoint works today. Okay, thank you. Little colourful man. There he comes. Is there music? What will it be? Yes, there is. And it is. The colour is... can dance if you want to, huh? Huh? Don't Ukrainians dance? Huh? All right. So, this is a graphic version of the Vitruvian Man by a great Italian artist whose name was? Leonardo da Vinci, and is very famous because this man, for Leonardo, represents perfection, perfect harmony. And for Leonardo, perfect harmony comes from knowing myself and finding the balance within myself. When I know myself, I am in harmony with myself. And if I'm in harmony with myself, I am in harmony with everyone and everything around me, and so I can do what I must do in a very effective way. For Leonardo, oh no, shit, it's number, that's the previous one, I don't believe this. It's number 4. Okay? For Leonardo, the Vitruvian Man represents perfection because he stands in a circle and in a square. And because for Leonardo, the number 5 was the perfect number. The perfect number because it represents creativity. The human figure, see if this has the colors on it, otherwise it's another one still. I'm going to shoot myself. Okay. Oh, sorry, don't translate that. No, it doesn't have the colors. I can see it in the window. The number 5 is the 5 extensions on our body. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5, don't get excited. 5 extensions. And on the 5 extensions, there are the 5 extensions. And on the face, we have the 5 openings. And what do we use to perceive reality? The five senses. I think it's the previous one, number 3. It's got color. It's the one with the colors. It's the one with the colors. Huh? The one that's not open. No, it's not that one. It's number 3. Okay. Let's see. The purple ray. Yes, there it is with the colors. Okay, keep going. There it is. Very good. These are called the medieval colors. These are the 4 basic colors that they use to make the stained glass, that they use to paint your icons. The 4 basic colors of red, blue, green, and yellow. May I just see, just hands up, who that's supposed to be red? Who put red? Who said red is their favorite color? I'm just curious. There's nothing right or wrong, or you're a good person, a bad person. I just want to see. So we have lots of reds over here. Blues? Oh, the blues win. The blues win. Any greens? Green for Ireland. Oh, I'm glad to hear. Yes, Irish green. That's very, yes. And yellow? Anybody yellow? We have only one yellow and blue. Were there any variations? Did anybody put purple? Purple. Aha. Purple. Pink. No. No pink. Did anybody just by chance put black? 2 blacks. White? Yes, what a wonderful collection. What a wonderful collection of people. Yes, what a marvelous cross-section. These are the colors that, when I asked you quickly to choose your favorite, in psychology, sociology, in philosophy, not theology, or maybe even in liturgy, in anthropology, and in communication, we believe is the color that you choose with which the color you identify with, the color that in some way says something about you. And since everything about us comes from nature, because before we got our university degrees, before we became so intelligent, we were very close to nature. Perhaps if we remember what the colors were in nature, they can tell us something about ourselves. The color red in nature appears as, what is red in nature? Yes, blood and fire. We talked about extremes. Everything in nature tends toward extremes. We tend to look for harmony and balance. The extremes of blood and fire are love and lust. Love and love. When the fire burns, it is passion. When the fire burns too much, it becomes something negative. Red is the color of power. If you choose red, you are attracted by power. Power doesn't mean that you want to be powerful yourself, but power is something that you find attractive. In the Catholic Church, the Latin Catholic Church, keep going. Keep going. In the Latin Catholic Church, our cardinals wear red. I asked a cardinal once, but this is true, I can't lie to you. I asked a cardinal once, why do you wear red? And he couldn't tell me. He didn't know. Red is the color of blood. And the cardinal is the shepherd of the sheep. And Jesus says the shepherd must be ready to lay down his life for his sheep, to shed his blood. That's why the red. Red is the danger sign. It's all the things that we're not supposed to do. We talk about the red light district. When things are places, they're places we should not go, or things that could be dangerous to us. Let us see the blues. We had lots of blues. The blues were all over here. Let me see again. This is yellow. We only had one yellow. What is yellow in nature? There it is. The sun, the lion, gold, but also the desert. Yellow is the color of strength. The strength of the lion, the strength of the sun. But when the sun burns too hot, it burns everything out and it becomes the desert. Let's keep going. Green. There were a few greens. I had one green here. I had a green back there. The color of Ireland. It's the color of nature, isn't it? And nature is about hope. Green is the color we associate with hope, because nature is always being reborn. But the negative side of nature, is when nature goes out of control and nature turns its back on us and becomes the witch and the nasty creature in the forest. All right. What's the next one? Blue. Obvious blue in nature. The only thing that is rarely blue in nature is the sky. The water is blue because it reflects the sky. And so all of you who chose blue, may I see once again, please? The blues. Don't be ashamed, it's beautiful, yes. Blue being the color of the sky is where we always looked when we were looking for something beyond ourselves. When we were looking for the gods, we would look up. And the original prayer position is not down on the ground like this. The original prayer position is this. This is how we are called to pray. Looking up. People who are attracted by blue not only can have a very strong spiritual nature, but they are people who are curious. They are people who are not satisfied with what they see. They want to go beyond themselves. On your icons, what are the colors that you paint Jesus and you paint Mary? They wear the same colors, but they are inverted. Yes, don't check that, yes. Red and blue. Red and blue because for Jesus it's his dual nature. Jesus is true God. He belongs in the heaven. He wears blue. He is true man. He is made of flesh and blood, which is the color red. That is why Jesus wears the red and the blue. Mary wears the red and the blue because she carries the Jesus in her. She gives birth to the Son of God. But her task is to take us up and lead the way to heaven, and that is why Mary always wears blue. In all cultures, Latin America, Africa, Asia, China, in all cultures, Mary wears blue. She's associated with the color of spirituality that takes you upward. Last one. Purple. I had three purple people. Here. Purple is a combination of red and blue. Purple is the combination of earth and sky, which is why it is the color of kings. And in the Catholic Latin Church, it is the color of Lent and Advent, the moment when Jesus comes down on earth and the moment when Jesus returns to the Father, where the blue and the red come together, the color of royalty. It's a complex color, and it means dichotomy. Half of you is looking up, and half of you is looking down. Nearly finished? Someone chose white, and someone chose black, which is very, very rare. Is very rare, because most people do not think of black and white as colors. White, as you know, is the combination of all color. White, you see white because you reflect all. It's the most complex of all colors. What is white in nature? Snow, milk, snow and clouds. And what do we associate white with? What color are angels? Pure, of course. Purity. What color are angels? You have blue angels? Red, green angels. Yellow. Purple angels. Yes. Angels are white because white is light. And angels are creatures of light. Who was the most beautiful angel of all? Do you remember his name? The most beautiful angel of all. Oh, no, that wasn't his name. It was Lucifer. And Lucifer is Latin, which means the one who carries the light bearer. The light bearer. The Pope wears white. Why does the Pope wear white? Our Pope wears white. Why does he wear white? The Dominicans say because of, but that's their version. That's their version. That's their version of the fact. The Pope wears white because he represents Jesus Christ, who says, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. Ideally, the Pope spreads the light of his presence and his message. Brides are supposed to wear white because they're supposed to be pure, but we won't talk about that. Let's just see black very quickly, and black. In nature, oil, yes. The nighttime, priests wear black. Why do priests wear black? Yes, Ukrainsky, yes. But I have to listen to you. What you say? Sorry?
Символ покути.
Of repentance. Okay, is that all? It is as well, yes, 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 it is. It is as well. In our associations of black, who chose black? Yes? Only on this side? In our associations of black, we think of the night. Right? The natural blackness in nature is night. And eternal night is, of course, death. And so, the black the priest wears is supposed to represent being dead to the world. There are old orders of nuns. I have spoken to old nuns who tell me that when they took their final vows, they would do so at midnight in the church, lying in a coffin in front of the altar. And the symbol is very powerful, that they are dying to the world. When I go to Africa, Sometimes I do this exercise with my African students, and I ask for the colors. And when we come to black, and I tell them, black we associate with night and with death, they get very angry with me. And they say, you racist! But remember what we said. All colors have positive and negative. What is the positive side of black? Who else wears black? Magistrates, professors wear black. The positive side of black is mystery. What is inside the darkness? It's the mystery that lies, the wisdom that lies within the darkness of the womb. The womb and the tomb. Works well in English. Huh? The womb and the tomb are the greatest mysteries of all. So if you choose black, perhaps it is because you are attracted by the mystery. Let's quickly look at the shapes. Oh, yes, there they are. May I see who chose this one, the first one? Who chose this? Okay. May I see who chose this? One, first, two, three. Who chose this? Okay, just one more time. Who chose this? All right, very good. All right, let's see. Do you want to know what they mean? Are you interested?
Yes.
Yes.
You have these symbols in your chapel. Here, right here. They are in the architecture. They are built into the architecture. Did you look? Did you see? You want to be a good journalist. You want to understand media. You must learn to look first. Not just look, but see and understand. Look, see, and understand. So many people look, they don't see. They know, but they don't understand. And so this little exercise, which is a silly exercise, it has no statistical or scientific basis at all. It's a little exercise, but it tells you how we are used to look and not see and not understand. Something which is very close to us. I asked you your favorite color, your favorite shape. They're all around you. Maria wears squares and circles every day around her neck. Squares and circles, but when I asked her today, she chose the triangle. She's a very complicated person. Let's see what the triangle means. Do you see which color I put it? Red. What is a triangle in nature? Let's see. Mountains, everything that points upwards. And so our associations with the triangles, they're associated with power. They're associated with power, with hierarchy, with structure. If you like triangles, you are interested in structures and in hierarchy and in power. Look at the mitre that the bishop wears. Look at the triangles that a man wears. How many triangles are there in my tie? So many triangles. Symbols of power, symbols of authority. That is what the triangle can represent. What is the square? What is square in nature? Nothing. Nothing. There are no squares in nature. We have only one square here. Yes? There are no squares, 2 squares, 3 squares. Yes. There's nothing square. Everything square that we see is created by man and woman. And so the square represents rationality, logic, inside the box. I must have structure, logic, rational. That's what the square is. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. When you visit people's homes, when you go to people's rooms, look around you and see how many squares they have, and think of the people you know who are very, they like to have order. order. A square is order because it's a box and you can put everything inside the box. Finally, the circle. Who were the circles? We had lots of circles. Do you see which color I painted the circle? Blue. What is circular in nature? Everything. Everything. Because atoms are circular and everything is made out of atoms. All creation is circular. God is circular. In your chapel, you have the triangles that represent the Trinity. In the architecture, you have the circles that represent God. God is a circle. He has no beginning and no end. He is perfection. And that is why your wedding ring or your engagement ring is a circle. If he gives you a square engagement ring, don't marry him. If he gives you a triangular ring, send him away. It means he wants to dominate you. It must be a circle. A circle is infinity. It has no beginning and no end. The planets are circles. It is order. The circle represents perfection. It represents order. You know what this represents, don't you? This is one of the most ancient symbols, on earth. It's an Eastern symbol, and it represents, we call it the yin and yang. Have any of you got a yin and yang piece of jewelry or something? Look around and see many people wear it and don't know what it is. It represents perfect harmony of the black and the white. And the perfect harmony is created by the male and the female, the opposites. Which one is the male and which one is the female? Aha! Okay, hands up. Who thinks that the white is the female? Who thinks the black is the female? Who thinks the black is the male? Ah, God, you see, you should put your... All right, I'll say. The white is the male. The male is the light. The female is the mystery. The female is the mystery. Yes, you laugh because women are a mystery, I know. Each one completes one another. Each one completes the other, but each one is not complete until it contains a little of the other within it. That is perfection. The male and female that spin in a wheel that complete one another and contain just a little of each one within one another to complement one another. Good, enough. Switch off the PowerPoints and notes. Let me see the journalists again, please. Let me see the journalists. Journalists. People who are studying journalism. Those who are studying journalism, all right. Those who are studying communication or involved in communication in any way, through new media, radio, television, all of us. I think we're all involved in communication. I cannot let you go this afternoon unless I give you a list of something to take away with you, something that you can think about, something that you can refer to. And so tomorrow, when I'm not here, or next week, you can look and say, yes, this is what he said. We're talking during these days about, this is our subject, right? You can see I don't write on boards, I'm not used to it. Huh? We're speaking, it says communication. We're speaking about communication. And so to help you, I will give you some One, two, three, 4, 5. We said 5 was a magic number, didn't we, for Leonardo da Vinci? Because 5 represents? It represents the human body. It represents creativity. Communication is creativity. So here are 5 C's to help you remember what effective communication requires. And this you can apply in whatever form of communication you are involved. Whether it is writing, whether it is radio, television, new media, or even in personal contact as a teacher. Very useful even as a teacher. Here they are, as a preacher, even as a preacher as well. And the first criteria, they are criteria. What is a criteria? A criteria is something we use to help us put things in order of importance. We need criteria. A professional needs criteria. What is the difference between a professional and an amateur? We're speaking today about being professional. What is the difference between a professional? How do you recognize a professional from an amateur?
Professional.
Their standards, yes.
Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Professional can distinguish when work is good and when it's bad. Amateur often cannot.
Professional uses criteria. The professional uses criteria. One day, when you are famous, which you will be famous one day, and they will invite you to be a judge on the Eurovision Song Contest. Because they will say, oh, this person studied communications at the Ukrainian Catholic University. They must be very clever. So we will invite you to be a judge on the Eurovision Song Contest. When they say, so do you like the song? And you say, yes. And they say, why? Because I like it. It's good. It's nice. Are you being a professional or an amateur? The professional uses criteria and is able to express those criteria. This is why we're telling you. The professional does what he does and knows why he does what he does. And so, I'm sorry for my translator. Okay, so a professional does what he does. He knows why he does what he does. And so, he does it perfectly every time. Every time. That is why they pay us so much money. The amateur does what he does, doesn't understand why he does what he does, and so sometimes he does it right. And that's why they don't pay him a lot of money, because we can't be sure that he will do what he must do. So, we need criteria. And what are the criteria? The first, you know what I'm going to say. You feel it inside you, but you have never put it in this order, in a way that you can remember. In English, it works because communication begins with the C, and these 5 criteria begin with a C. We call that mnemonics. It's a way to help you remember. So, the first, so simple. I'm sure that your teachers tell you already. Clear. Clarity. Clarity. They're so simple, you know? So simple. If you think how much money I earn going around the world just telling people such simple things, it's sinful. Anyway, we don't earn lots of money. No. It's very simple. It's so simple that you don't think about it. It's so simple you don't think about it. How important it is to be clear. And clear means both simple and to the point, but it also means clear in the way you express it. The more degrees you have, the more doctorates you have, the more you are tempted to use big words. So often when I go to a university lecture, I sit there and I need a vocabulary, a dictionary, to understand what the person is trying to say. simple. Clear means simple. But it also means clear in the way you present it. I can say, today we just talk about very things, a lot of stuff. It's very interesting. Important. You can't understand what I say. Forget. The clarity is both in the content and in the form. Clear. Any ideas? Ideas. What could they be? Huh? Come on, you know these because you already apply them, I'm sure. Clear. Concise. Concise in English means short. In English we say short and sweet. To the point. And the reason why concise is becoming more and more important is because our attention span is becoming shorter and shorter. It is so difficult for us to listen. It is so hard for us to pay attention to someone who is speaking to you for more than 5 minutes. And any teacher in this room, just say yes, can tell you how difficult it is to hold the attention of a class. If I give a lecture in America to an American university, and I give the lecture from here, it can be what I think is a brilliant lecture, and the content is really inspiring and will change the lives of the people in front of me. Already at this moment, there are students in my class in New York, Washington, Los Angeles, who are going onto their Facebook page and answering emails and sending an SMS message to the person next to them, and they look up and go, to let me think, and then they are back. Attention. So difficult to hold attention. When I was a little boy, very little boy, it was before something we called the Second Vatican Council. The Second Vatican Council changed many things, including the Latin liturgy of the Mass. When I was a little boy, we would go to Mass for 3 hours. And the priest would speak in Latin with his back, and for a little boy, it was terrible. I used to take my bags of toys, books and toys and cars, and play with the cars in the church, and my mother would say, shh. Today, asked Father Bernd, if a Mass in Rome lasts longer than?
Rome would say half an hour. Germany would be 50 minutes on a Sunday, tops.
50 minutes on a Sunday.
50.
50, and 30 minutes in Rome. If the Mass on a Sunday lasts more than 30 minutes, the people don't come back. Don't come back. Our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. When I started television, when I began to work on television, my editors in Washington, D.C., when I would do an interview, they would say the sound bite, we call it the sound bite, the television sound bite, could not last more than 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Today, the sound bite cannot last more than 5 seconds. Because if it lasts more than 5 seconds, change the channel. What can you say in 5 seconds? How can I tell the story in 5 seconds? This is exaggeration. This is the speed. the moving so fast and not understanding. But concise, we must learn to be concise. So when you go to Damien, those who have not yet come to speak to Damien, to answer the question on communication, concise, a few words. Get your message across in a few words. Clear, concise. Concrete. Concrete means down to earth. Down to earth. Use examples. Tell stories. Appeal to the senses. Tell me, what did it look like? What did it sound like? What did it smell like? What did it taste like? When I go back to Rome, many people will say, oh, Ukraine. They know nothing about Ukraine. Nothing. When I said to some of my students, I'm going to Ukraine, they said, is Africa? You're going back to? No, it's not. Anyway, they really, people have no idea that it's too, but many will be curious and they will say, what was it like? How do I describe Ukraine? What did I see? What did I hear? What did I eat? What did I... Yes. What did I taste? What did I feel? What did I feel? Concrete examples. I met a girl called Irina, and Irina told me that I met a boy called Igor, and he said that examples, concrete, down to earth. Creativity. How long do we have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Wow. Creativity is the hardest of all. I would like to use, with your permission, 5 of these 10 minutes to do a game. It is only a game. There are no exercises. I don't like exercises. I don't like tests. I don't even like psychologists here. Thank goodness. I don't like psychology. It's a game. But it's a game for you to see how creative you are. If I were to say to you, are you creative? I'm sure most of you say, yes, I'm creative. Huh? This is a little game. Can you help me, please? Can someone help me to hand these out? Can you help me? Okay, over here. Thank you. In the next 5 minutes, you will have exactly 5 minutes to complete, listen very carefully to the instructions. You will have 5 minutes to complete the designs on the paper. Complete as many designs as you can in such a way that they are original, which means you do not repeat the same design, and they are understandable, recognizable, not abstract. They must be clear, they must be concise, they must be concrete, and we will see at the end of 5 minutes how creative you are. I repeat, you now have 4.5 minutes to complete as many designs as possible in such a way that they are recognizable. In other words, they are concrete. I understand what they are. And they are original. You do not repeat yourself. Go. See how many you can complete that are original and just for 6 minutes. Just a few more minutes, a few more moments, a few more seconds. Just to finish up. Okay, thank you. You stop. All right. Two things. First thing. This is a game. This is not a test. This does not show that you are a good person, or a bad person, or a clever person, or a stupid person. All this shows is what you want to see about your creativity. Second thing, I thank you for participating. The fact, yes, because in communication, nothing is taken for granted. Everything has meaning. If you participated, it means you are already prepared to take a risk. And I thank you for that. Whatever the result, it means you are already prepared to step across the line and to look at that most difficult of questions, which is yourself, and to ask that most difficult of questions, who am I? So thank you for your courage and your participation. Now, to understand the results, unfortunately, it is impossible for us to assess ourselves. So to assess, I must ask you, please hand exchange papers with someone you trust. If there is someone here you feel knows you and understands you, then I would invite you, exchange the paper with that person. Otherwise, exchange with anybody, with the person next to you. But you need to exchange the paper with someone else, please. Red, can you help us here with difficulties? Yes. And he will help you. Father Brent will help you with this. I will tell you now. All right. You've exchanged the papers? Very good. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I love this game. I have played. Okay, shh, don't talk to each other. No. You mustn't talk to each other. Don't talk to each other. No? Okay. I have played this game with politicians, with bishops. Yeah. I have played this game with big managers of big companies. I have played this game with many different categories of people. And it is always a little bit surprising, in good ways and not so good ways. It can tell you and help you to understand something more about your creativity. The paper you have in front of you. First of all, nobody said how to hold the paper. So, nobody said hold the paper like this, or like this, or like this. That is the first test of creativity, is to look for different options. First creativity. Did you look for different options? Or did you just take the paper as you received the paper? You know the answer. You know the answer. Criteria. The criteria are to be clear, concise, and concrete. Already it was concise because you had 5 minutes. So you have already responded to concise. The first criteria is look at the paper in front of you and cancel any boxes where there is no drawing. Eliminate the space where there is no drawing, where the person did not touch the paper. Eliminate that box. So, if there is no drawing, eliminate the box. That is the first criteria. Huh? Because it means you did not complete the exercise in the time that you were given. As a communicator, this is very important what I'm saying to you now. Huh? Very, very important. Because it does make a difference for your career and for your life. Your editor, or your director, or your producer, your boss, will give you a task and will say, on this subject, I need 10 interviews. And you will come back and he will say, where are my 10 interviews? And you will say, I don't have 10, I have 3. But they are very good. They are so interesting. I talked to the person for 4 hours and they are so What will your boss say? I asked for 10. Complete the assignment in the time given. Sometimes it means compromise. The paper you did, perhaps you spent all the time, your 5 minutes, you knew it was 5 minutes. I told you many times, 5 minutes, 5. 5 is the number of creativity. That's why 5 minutes. Huh? You knew you had 5 minutes, but maybe you spent all your time on 3 drawings. And maybe they are beautiful. Huh? Van Gogh drawings. But where are the other 12? So, first lesson, complete the assignment in the time given. Next lesson, look at the paper in front of you. Are there any drawings you cannot understand? If you do not know what it is, eliminate the box. Don't ask the person, you cannot ask the person to explain. Because as communicators, I cannot come to each one of you and say, did you understand what I said? Did you understand my message? I can't. I'm communicating to a group through my blog, through my website, on my TV show, on my radio program, in my article. I cannot go to everybody and say, did you understand? Let me explain. Let me explain. What I really wanted to say was, oh, you got angry with me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe you didn't get my message. Let me explain. You can't do that. You can't do that. So, you don't understand what it is. Kill it. That's concrete. That's clear. There are no second chances in communication. You have chosen the most difficult career in the world. We do not forgive. I speak, you understand, you act. Or I speak, you don't understand, you make a mess. It's as simple as that. There's no middle way. So, you don't understand what is written? Eliminate. And the third and final criteria, originality. Look at the page in front of you. If there are 2 drawings that are in the same category, you must eliminate one. Many people in this exercise, when they see this, they draw the face. And they see another one, and they draw another face. It is the same category. It is still a face. And so, you must take out one. Originality means thinking, we say, thinking outside. We say originality and creativity means to think outside the box. That's what I'm asking you to do. That is exactly what I asked you to do. In a silly game, in a stupid game, I asked you, think outside the box. Look at your pages. Did anybody draw outside the box? What can that say about you? And we conclude our class today. What can that say? First, I'm sorry, let's just finish. Give me the number, count what is left. After you eliminate, count what is left, write the number on the page, and give the page back to the person. Count the number left after you have eliminated everything. How many are left? Write the number and give it back to the person. Okay? All right. Are you satisfied with your mark? Are you satisfied with your mark? No. Yes. No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Satisfied with your mark. Satisfied with your mark. There are 15 spaces. There are 15 boxes. If you got more than 7, if you got 7 or more, then you can consider yourself happy with your creativity. If you got less than 7, you need to think about your creativity and ask why. And maybe, most often, the answer is, I was afraid. I was not ready to risk. I stayed inside the box. I paid too much attention to the detail and too little attention to the big picture. This is very important, very important. As a journalist, our task is to do both. As a journalist, as a media person, as a communicator, we need to be able to see the tree and the forest, the context and the experience within the context. This little game can show you how close you are to doing that. Thank you. Who asked? You asked. Congratulations. There's a last word. Everything we have spoken about today, everything, from this afternoon when we spoke about experiences in war, to this afternoon where we spoke about colors and knowing yourself and creativity and criteria, it all comes down to one word. Can I write it on one piece of paper? May I? May I use one piece of paper?
Yep.
Yes. I'm sorry for the tree, but it is important. The one word I wish to leave you with today. If you remember nothing of today, please remember one word. To be credible still begins with the C. To be credible means I believe you. I trust you. If you wish to be successful, if you wish to be effective, whatever you do, whether it is a magazine called Kana, whether it is a blog or a TV or a radio show or a newspaper, whatever you do, you need to have trust of the people who are using you. You need to be credible. It will be your most precious treasure It will make you different from everybody else. Credibility. And to be credible, what do we need? What I think is what I say. And what I say is what I do. That is credible. Thank you and good afternoon.